That way I can see it. That way I can see it. That way I can see it. Those are all sent. Okay. Last time, I discovered that I had failed to set a quest going. And now I have to go and set it going. Before I can actually do it. So we'll do that one. Which means a bunch of teleporting. It's the rains again. I need it to not be the rains to do stuff in Giza Plains. Where am I going? Whoops. Is that what I want?
Hello, I'm here to pester you.
Hello, Pest. How are you doing?
Well, pest.
Hey, dragonflies aren't pests. Vital part.
Depending on who is judging, they can be pests if not in the taxonomical sense. Also, stuff
Who do I
isn't.
have to speak to? I'm sure I got the.
Also, I've just realized that I'm still on screen.
Oh shit, you are. Whoops.
Yeah, that'll just be invisible unless I join voice chat. So,
Yeah.
and it doesn't even have to be this voice chat. I'll just show up sometimes. You should be careful about that. One more thing to be careful about.
Oh, I think I have to beat the trickster first, maybe. Right, which hunts do I have that are live? I should go to Mount Baromeses and do that one because it's really simple. I should go to Jahara and pick up the Jahara hunts. I should go. Actually, I should go to the Estersand. And Nalvina.
I will probably be quiet for a few minutes while I eat breakfast and watch the CR Cup highlights.
Fair
Is
enough.
that finished? And Solen tweeted about it right as I went to bed. I was just like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna be able to watch the entire thing.
Oh
It
well.
goes.
What were those places I just listed that I was going to go to? One of them was
I
Jahara.
remember the Esther Sand.
Jahara, Estersand Village, and Nalbina. It wasn't as hot today as it has been the last few days, but it started heating up like half an hour ago indoors. One of those evenings that's just got really heavy for some reason. And so now I am... slightly belatedly delivering the medications to this quest.
It's okay, time isn't real.
Time is extremely not real.
Especially in video game.
Yeah, especially in this video game.
Miss has played 12 how many times now?
I think I worked out this is the 12th.
Of course it is. You should stop.
No.
By that I mean play randomizer next, coward.
I will probably play randomizer next, although that would mean playing... Wait, I can't do this hunt yet. That would mean that my first randomizer attempt would also be my 13th attack on the game. Which
Yeah?
maybe doesn't sound like the greatest idea.
You're gonna use that excuse every time the randomizer comes. Well, then my my first run of the randomizer is gonna be my 14th, my 15th. Yes, play the randomizer. The sooner you get it over with,
No, I mean 13.
less.
I mean 13 is an unlucky number.
13 was also a good Final Fantasy game. Luck is fake. You know this. Don't bullshit.
I mean, I was born on a 13th. It must be pretty lucky for me, but also, some things are tempting fate.
And this game is about fucking deciding our own fate. You nerd.
It's not about deciding your own fate. It's about how you shouldn't try to decide your own fate.
Fucking. Don't start going fucking astrology on me. This has big.
The game means a thing, and it's very much about how the rhetoric of deciding your own fate is a bad rhetoric.
Well, it's a bad rhetoric from the game. Fucking play the randomizer, you nerd.
I will.
You're wriggling out of this exactly like a philosopher would, missing the point entirely and talking about something else until they forget what they were talking about. Is a very philosopher move.
It is, but also, like, you said the game was about a thing which, like, I don't think it's about. I think it is specifically about rejecting.
So, if it's not about taking fate into their own hands, rejecting that plan is not about. There is a logic I'm following here, but I'm not caffeinated enough to elucidate on it.
Is your hunt
I have a bowl full of spaghetti and a cup of coffee, and I do not have the brains involved. Hi, Sam.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for showing up to break up this argument.
What are we arguing about? Can I join in?
No.
We were getting our wires crossed about, like, Lex came out with an argument for me doing the randomizer, which happened to be a claim about the game I disagree with.
I'm not going into it because I don't have enough caffeine in my system to argue my point.
I mean, we talked this through on the podcast at great length when we did it. We just like, that's enough.
I'm a different fucking person than I was then. I found a whole new gender, and also a lot of other things happened.
Mm-hmm.
God, how long has it been? It's been like fucking 3 years, huh?
Then
4.
Oh, yeah, 4.
Because it was
Like,
it was
yeah, 4
summer
years ago.
2017.
Yeah,
12.
Jesus. I was thinking of 13, which was 3, which is also yikes.
Yep.
That was all a while ago.
Why do I just want to replay all the Final Fantasy games forever?
Do you want to do that?
No.
No, I only want to replay 10, 12, and
12.
13.
Because let me tell you, it's still fun to do that.
Mm.
But
No, I
also
don't think I ever want to
immensely
look at
time-consuming.
FF3 ever again.
You don't want to
You're
look
not ready for the Pixel remake?
I don't want to look at any version of that game.
That game's not too bad.
Hmm.
I'm curious. I saw a lot of people saying that the original / derivatives of it were a lot better than the version you played.
Here's
I
the
did
thing.
play like a particularly bad version.
The thing about the Pixel remaster is they all say adjusted game balance
Yep.
on the store description. So who knows what that could be?
I think a lot of the things is like I fully expect them to do like a lot of minor bug fixes
Yeah.
and count that as game balance changes, like magic
But-
defense working in Final Fantasy VI, or
Well, here's the
accuracy.
thing. Some of
Accuracy
these
is
things,
one.
like there were balance changes between later versions of a lot of these games.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Like, and they also bug fixed in
Yeah.
some cases. So yeah, I'm looking forward to them. I'm just not sure I'm gonna play anything but FF5, maybe FF6.
At the moment, they're all kind of like superfluous for me, except for 3.
Mhm.
because like all the rest are going to be very similar to the versions that I've already played.
Mm. Did you play the
Um,
DS version of 3 then?
Yeah, I did it on the PC version.
Yeah.
Ah.
DSP, PC, same
Because in
version.
the PC and phone version, they patched it to put in a like auto
Yeah.
battle.
And
Ah.
Auto Battle, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Bravely Default auto battle. It just does the last thing you picked on your turn.
Ah,
But that speeds up the game a lot.
yeah.
I can imagine.
Like, I did pretty much almost everything in that game, and like still got under like the average time.
Nice.
Mhm.
I think it was like 28 hours I finished in that game.
Mm.
It's the thing about people say like that game gets really hard towards the end with like a long period without a save point. It's
Mhm.
a kind of thing you do a lot of prep work for it and get a
Yeah.
well. It is the game is still really grindy.
Mm.
Not gonna lie, like I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
put it in that way, but like if you do the right kind of like grinding in it. And the thing is, as well, because it's an old job system, you only need to grind the one job per character.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing that I remember seeing when the DS version came out, and there were people talking about that, was like you weren't gonna hit 9999 HP unless you stopped leveling everything else at a certain character level and just ground monk until 99, which is like
Was it
the
monk?
metric for a
I
lot of
forget.
people. Yeah, it was
Like,
monk.
because the thing was you could grind other jobs, but you had to switch back to one particular job. Maybe it was monk.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, I'm
at the
specifically
point where you're
talking
gonna
4
level up.
character levels.
yeah.
And
job.
And I was doing that grind, and I got to about level 60 something.
okay.
It was an absolutely wretched experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You can power game that game, but I don't think you want to.
No.
yeah. But yeah, no, and the 4 remake has a bunch of like rebalanced difficulty as well, but the PC version of it has an easy mode.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh wait, I can't do those.
I could probably switch on 12 by now. Actually, I was playing that today.
Oh my shitting! I knew I missed one. Ah! I'm having a very good session.
I'm seeing the.
Forgetting.
Hello, Jack. We are talking about versions of FF3 and
Yeah.
how mean they can be and what power gaming in them is like.
Also, if that came across to you as Wizardry 2, that's a bad look for FF3. A little bit.
yeah.
I can absolutely believe it though, based on everything I've heard about Wizardry.
Well, you'll have a first-hand chance if you want to get that one collection that's coming out.
Oh, they're doing a Wizardry collection.
Yeah? They have... I'll go find it.
Oh, it's like. I want to say like. A bunch of places have had like that as a compilation.
Yeah, but it's like an official thing. Wizardry: The 5 Ordeals.
What is this?
That's a heck of a name.
Is this?
This game, which comes from 2006, is now available on Steam with a scenario editor and some modern UI improvements. And basically, there's a collection of
Oh, is this
the
some
corresponding release.
Japanese one?
Yeah,
It's an early access. Oh, coming in early access.
and it's also postponed.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, FF3 is like extremely grindy. I played the DS version. The DS version is worse. Like they upped the difficulty in a bunch of ways. And
I wonder why they chose to do that for like the DS games.
I don't know. I
that's
guess
right.
it's because they...
I wonder if it's because it's led by a team that knows the game.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Probably.
Either that or they presume that people are familiar enough with the originals that they could do like hard mode hacks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like was Takashi Tokito involved in both of those?
I have no idea.
He was on FF4.
I do know that FF4, the complete collection on PSP, came out and was basically what I wanted out of a FF4 port.
The complete
It's
collection
just-
is
Just
It's
the
like-
game, but prettier.
yeah, like I mean it reuses a lot of the sprites from the Final Fantasy 1 and 2 re-releases, but yeah, it's great looking.
Yeah.
Um,
I also enjoyed the FF1 and 2 re-releases on PSP. Just
yeah, they're really good.
shame they're on the PSP, but you know, every game
Yeah.
has its sins. I wonder if FF3 2D HD, or not 2D HD Pixel Remake, the new one is going to have regular MP instead of old school MP.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there was
Probably
that
make
issue
it
as
a
well.
lot more approachable. Because they really
Yeah.
don't like. I don't like the D&D style spells.
I don't think it was too hard to manage, to be honest.
I just don't like it. I don't-
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, yeah. It's not about difficulty. I just don't like it.
I'm-
Can I beat this mini boss
The problem-
without proper preparation?
one of the weirder problems about the Pixel remasters, I think they're all still like 16:9, and which like, because like it's unfortunate because there's a bunch of like specifically composed shots in like Final Fantasy VI that have actually kind of been ruined from the last few versions of the game.
Hmm.
Like it kind of takes a bit out of the shot because they're a bit too like compressed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe next time I play Final Fantasy VI, it'll be like a fucking hacked SNES ROM or something.
I mean, there was that hacked SNES version that
Hmm.
fixes all the stuff and borrows some of the lines from the retranslation. on
Let's
the
see if
GameCube.
I can make this work.
Well, the one I'm thinking more is probably the Tedral Z.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah. Yeah. that's
Sorry,
probably
we'll
the
join
one
the conversation again in a second. I'm concentrating on this quickening chain to see if I can kill King
Oh,
Bomb.
that's how I fought that guy yesterday.
He's a fun time.
I did the exact same thing. Well, I did the exact same thing after about
How many renews did he get off?
at least 10.
I think I'm not going to finish him off with this is the thing, so he's probably going to renew again. And then I'll have no mischarges. This was probably premature, but...
What, you switch out your party?
Got a surprise for you.
I could do, but then Balthier will just die all the time because he's like level 17.
How about
Yeah,
some
but
of
but
this?
you get his health down a bit, and then you get the party in, like, and then you quickening as soon as possible.
Maybe. We'll see how
I
it
think-
goes.
This guy doesn't have a lot of health.
Not a huge amount, but renew is a pain.
Yeah.
Ruin Impendant. Impendant is a.
It's a good word.
I had.
No, it's a you
I
would do that. Say that. Mystique fantasy writer.
I keep having Penelo in my party whenever I'm doing quickening, so I keep using Evanescence.
Yeah. That has eventually worn off for me as like a thing that I think about, but also, yeah.
But it's like I can't look at it without just thinking like, "Wake me up!" Like immediately.
Yeah.
Also, the one Vine from ages ago.
It's fine.
It's a guy like introduces himself. My name's Evan.
Oh God, Evanescence. Yeah.
Essence, and then the song just starts playing.
Of course. Some things just are going to be memes forever.
I miss Vine.
Don't we all?
Let's say as someone who's recently got into a bad habit of scrolling through TikTok. And like
Yeah.
every so often it's just Vines again. Someone's just reposting the old Vines.
Yep,
But I'm like,
Yeah.
why do I watch these?
Yeah.
that's how it works.
Hmm.
Got a surprise for you.
starting to run low on time.
You're fine.
Give me a mischarge, please. There we go. It would be great if I could get another 3-star, I think.
I wish they showed damage numbers during the quickenings.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Because it just give a better indication of how you're doing.
Yeah.
Next, oh my god. Slen's streaming Resident Evil 4 next week.
Oh god.
Oh wow.
I can't wait to hear Ashley shout, "Leon, help me!" for fucking hours.
You won't hear any of it over Selen's laughter.
That's true.
She'll just be cackling
I
the
should
whole
play.
time.
I should play Resident Evil 4 again.
Mm-hmm.
What did I
Before they
get? I
fucking
got
remake
Arc
it and make
Blast.
it extremely hard to talk about.
Hmm.
I mean, they're already remaking Resident Evil 4 in space, so...
I don't know. Dead Space
Okay,
is
I did
actually
do
a
enough
horror-
damage.
Yeah.
Part I got stuck on was the bullshit green palette slot monsters that constantly reinforce unless you either magic or the Dark Knight special ability. God, I don't remember them. It's like, it has now been over a decade since I last touched any version of FF3.
I mean, yeah. Like, the whole thing is it wants to force you to use magic.
Yeah.
That's not...
While having a relatively limited supply of magic to use.
I would say
I think I was mostly using Geomancers when I was doing the attempt at the end game grind.
I mean, yeah, they're trying to introduce diversity in your party, and you're going, no, I don't want to. Yes.
That
If
is.
you refuse to play along, the game is
Well,
going
the
to put
way-
up resistance.
the way 3 kind of works is like, oh, by the way, there's this guy, there's these type of people that are weak to dragoons, and like
Yeah.
you have an entire village of people going, oh, there's these monsters, we're not very good at them, but we hear dragoons are good with them. And like, the better solution is just to make a party full of dragoons.
Mm.
It's like, I mean, it's you can tell it's like a first attempt in a way because there's a lot of like experimenting and sort of things and weird
Mhm.
stuff, stats effects in that
Monster
game.
I'm after at the moment is in this direction.
How like you have to deliberately give yourself certain status effects to get into certain places.
Like mini, and you can
Yeah.
only use magic in that dungeon because pretty much anything you do physically
Oh
is
my
gonna be
god, the
garbage.
mini dungeon. I feel
That's
like
literally where I bounced off the game.
yeah.
So,
So I played the game like heavily relying on a guide, and so I kind of knew what to do there. But I feel like I needed to encounter that after having played some other early FFs. Like it's not an uncool idea. It's just
Yeah. Well, it's like the first few Final Fantasy games just have a few like dead ends in terms of what they do with certain things. Like
Yeah.
how 2 has the whole thing with like certain things in dialogue that basically kind of act as items that you can like use in conversation.
mm,
yeah, the
Which I think is really
conversation
cool.
system is neat, but also felt kind of iffy.
Yeah, it was iffy, but I feel like there could have been like more to do with it.
Yeah,
mm.
and they probably could have kept it around. They just didn't feel like it.
Yeah,
My understanding is that that's the FF2 story. Like
I mean,
Full
like
of
the
stuff.
progression
That-
of
That
FF
became Saga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
became Saga. It's just that Saga decided to hide a lot more of it,
Mm-hmm.
and also have like working out how the character progression in a Saga game works. It's like having to crawl through like several different forum threads to get to piece together all the small bits of right information.
Yep.
The work of the midlight child.
Oh, hey Becky.
I
Dyson
Yeah.
figured.
Sphere added blueprints.
Sorry, what?
Dyson Sphere added
As
blueprints.
the dawn
Oh,
shot
nice.
down the Leviathan and her fleet, a fell mist
That's
spilled
good
forth.
stuff.
That's
It is
extremely
like
good.
The same thing happened
If
here.
you get back to Saga Frontier,
The
God.
Nethicite's mist has
There's so
corrupted
many
the life of
games
this
to
place.
play.
It is a necrohol overrun
Content
with
is
beasts.
infinite.
Yep.
We tread here on a
Discontent
fool's
is also
errand.
infinite.
We'd best turn back.
Hmm.
Ooh.
I do actually want to do Navidis, but I want to do it from the other entrance so that I'm emerging into benign territory rather than having to fight the top tier crystal bug at the end of the journey. Because that is a situation that can very quickly get out of hand.
So are you just going back from a certain point and doing side quests, or?
Yeah, I finished the game before Skeleton Nexus came out,
Okay.
and so I'm just rounding up all the side quests.
Yeah. Because I'm not like in terms of like actual progression of the game. I'm not far after this place.
Ah, right,
I just did the Fon Coast this morning.
right, yeah,
I mean, it's not, I mean, I've played this game before, but
yeah.
it's not like I'm trying to remember like how much of the game I've got left.
You're on your way to Arcades. After Arcades, you go to Giravagan, and then from Giravagan it's the Pharos, and then the end of the game.
It doesn't feel like I don't know. It like I'm like 30 hours into the game, and like the way it feels like I should be at like a halfway point, but it's
I
not.
think you're a little bit past halfway.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I want to go this way.
But like, I don't know. It just feels like an odd pacing thing. Maybe I'll make sense of it when it gets further through or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Everything,
it's because the game isn't particularly interested in like a Hollywood structure of any kind.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's just like it's built around a sequence of journeys, and the journeys have quite different. Each journey has quite different pace. So like, there's the journey to the three big ones: the journey to Mount Baromeses, the journey to Arcades, and then the journey kind of to Giravagan. So you're kind of partway through the middle of those, but there's a bunch of stuff at either end of that.
Yeah. Also, there's like plenty of opportunity to just go off and do other things. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Whereas like, most of the other games before are a very straightforward like,
Yeah.
like well,
Like-
10 especially is.
Yeah, like 2/3 of the game is like you're going to the next town to do a thing there, and then you go to the next town, like basically the Dragon Quest structure, but with
Yeah.
more of a narrative through line.
And when I finish this, I'll be playing Revenant Wings.
Which I've never done.
Yeah.
I should probably do that at some point.
Yeah.
To
Well, it's,
figure out the emulation requirements, I guess. I am not endorsing emulation in any way. Please don't sue me. Stop parrying me, you ridiculous skeleton.
I don't know, because this is the thing. To be fair, the price of like a lot of like all the DS, 3DS games is ridiculous at the moment. I think I got in on buying a bunch of these things at the right time.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
the
this,
clickety-clack of Lex looking up the price of Revenant
Yeah.
Wings DS.
No, that was me responding to someone auto-correcting a joke and it saying Baha Mitai.
Oops.
the thing about I'm playing Final Fantasy 12, and that's not like that's just under half the games on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. After after 12 it's Revenant Wings, then I'm doing Tactics A2, and then I've decided to put all the Crystal Chronicles games, which like there's
The
Six
Crystal
of them.
Chronicles really ballooned kind of after this point, right?
well it's kind of in between. So like the first Crystal Chronicles is on the
GameCube.
GameCube, and then the second one they did as a DS exclusive.
Right.
And the third one is a DS game, but they also put it on the Wii at the same time.
yeah.
And weirdest looking Wii game because it's like it looks like one of those because they just straight up ported the DS game to the Wii with 2 screens as well.
Huh.
Like the Wii remote like switches the sides of the screens. It looks like those videos on YouTube where someone's trying to show a DS game.
Right.
They're doing it
overlay.
poorly. Also, to be clear, I'm looking at Revenant Wings now because now I got curious, and nah, you can buy it for like $20 to $30. People don't want to hold on to this game.
That's a rise in price.
Yeah, people don't want this game.
But like
I wonder if my 2DS still works.
I picked that game up for like less than hacking a 3DS is not an arduous process if it's to be believed.
Yeah.
If you just want to find the game somewhere,
Fine.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Any chance of me streaming Time and Eternity? You have stumbled on the deep lore.
No. That game is so bad it made me into a games critic.
Literally, Lex and I would not be friends or have met at all if Lex hadn't. What was that, like 2013 you played that game?
Let me go find the email because I definitely remember. It's somewhere. Oh god.
I have.
Thank you for your purchase. I got it for $9.79 on a PSN sale in 2014. Thank you, Golden Week.
Yeah, so all the way back in 2014, were you like bribed to play it or something? I forget.
No, I saw it. I was like, wow, this looks dumb. And I asked my friend Lauren, like, hey, can I have like $10 to buy this fucking game?
Oh,
and he was
yeah.
just like, only if you play it all the way through. I don't want my money to go to waste. I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
Oh shit!
And then
That
I did.
is an enemy I should not fight right now. Okay.
Oh,
but
that's
yeah,
a big scary elemental.
yeah. And you did one time after we met stream some of it.
Yes.
Like for half an hour or something.
Yeah.
And I remember that stream. It was a hell of a thing.
I still own it, and I still have the PS3 I played it on, and I could hook that up, but I'm not going to because I love myself.
Is that an Image Epoch game?
Yes. Yes, I believe
They're
so.
not around anymore.
Nope, they sure aren't. I wonder why.
Game Stellar Glow,
Yeah.
Oh god.
which was like fine. The game was- it's like
You used to
That's
talk
fine.
about that game all the time on my streams back in the day.
They
I was reviewing it.
reopened as Mikage LLC? Question mark? What?
Amazing.
oh, they do the Criminal Girls games apparently.
I wonder why they went out of business.
I just like that is the most like if you had told me that it was just the Time and Eternity team came back as a new company and they make a series called Criminal Girls.
Oh, no, the Image Epoch made those already.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, no. But they are coming back with Criminal Girls X.
Fine, sure, why not?
They apparently already came back. That was summer 2020. It was a fucking mobile game, of course.
Of course.
Uh,
God above.
But yeah, no, like they were Luminous Arc, Sony Pro.
Wait, they were
Archive
Luminous
92.
Arc as well.
Yes, that's why
Oh.
we played Luminous Arc.
I don't remember us mentioning Time and Eternity in that context.
I
Seems-
definitely would have.
I don't remember it coming
I
up.
just wonder because like
They also did Seventh Dragon.
who worked on the third Seventh Dragon? Because like that's after the studio shuts.
I love video
Yeah.
games. Who worked on the third Seventh Dragon? Is that the 21st dragon or the 10th dragon?
No,
or...
sorry. The Seventh
Seventh Dragon 3 code BFD
fourth.
is actually the fourth Seventh Dragon. Yes.
Because there's fucking 7th Dragon 2020 and the 7th Dragon 2022.
Which is 2020 dash Roman numerals 2.
Oh god!
Hatsune Miku appeared again in the game as a non-playable character.
Video games are a miraculous thing.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
they're all Sega games, and like Sega does all the Miku games.
Yep. The answer is it was apparently Sega that made Seventh Dragon 3.
It's like 7th Dragon is like the Etrian Odyssey guy, leaving fucking Atlas to do those.
Huh. Why isn't Miku in Sonic and All Stars?
Because
Yes, why
too
not?
early.
That would be
Too
amazing.
early for that to be. Because they were too busy getting the fucking Yogscast and Total War Shogun.
In Team Fortress 2 as well.
Yes.
Yep.
We have talked about this.
I can't believe the Yogscast. I hate myself for this, but I'm so tempted to just get the Yogscast DLC.
Ugh. That game is Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed is a great kart racer.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We're gonna,
play
play
it
it on
on-
stream in like
Oh,
2
nice.
weeks' time.
Yeah.
I love that game.
I'm doing. I don't know if you've seen me talk about this. I've talked about it a couple places. You might have seen it, but like I'm gonna do an endurance stream where I play 8 Sonic games in one sitting on August 8th. Because 8. And the 8 Sonic games in question are Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, Sonic 3 Blast with the Director's Cut patch, Sonic Adventure 1, 2 Battle, and Sonic Heroes, and then we're gonna take a break somewhere in there for Sonic Kart.
Yep.
And that's gonna be something to celebrate my birthday.
And
I was
Sonic
going
Kart
to
is
do
gonna-
Shadow.
it's gonna
Yeah,
be-
I was gonna do Shadow the Hedgehog, but it was no.
Yeah,
That
Shadow
game
is
is
a
not
bit
bad.
much.
That game is just like really annoying to play.
I mean, I was good at playing it. I had like a lot of hours in it on GameCube. It's just that like, if I try to do that after getting the true end in Sonic Heroes, I will die.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I have gotten the Trend and Shadow twice.
I've done it 3 times, so yeah.
Oh, beat me.
Listen, I had very limited games on GameCube, and I got very bored with playing Tales of Symphonia for the 12th time.
I was kind of done that game after the first time.
I'd say revisit it, but the only plausible ways to revisit it are on the awful ports. So
Yeah, no, I've only played the GameCube version, but
I replayed it on PS3, which is
Yeah.
tolerable.
it's
But then there's all
it's
the
tolerable on
fucking-
PS3. It's just the camera. Why the camera? Ugh.
that's
I don't even
that's
remember what the
my
camera
feelings
issue
on
was.
Shadow the Hedgehog is why the camera.
The problem with the camera for Symphonia PS3 is that the angle's really steep on the world map, so it's
Oh,
really
right.
difficult to like keep track of. I've got this set to the wrong gambit, and that's why.
You want boss gambit,
Yeah.
so you're trying to buff up before anything happens.
No, it's not. It's not the buffing that's the problem.
It's just the not finishing off enemies.
Yeah. Set to focus on the highest max HP enemy, which means that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do remember that. I remember that being an issue specifically because the PS2 version ran worse than the GameCube version, so they tilted down so it was rendering less than anything
Yeah.
on the world map.
Yep.
But they also. I'm just thinking about the Resident Evil 4 port on PS2, where they washed the entire fucking game out because the fucking PS2 just didn't handle colors the right way.
It's also like there was a lot of like really like GameCube specific shaders in that game.
Yeah.
Like I don't think any of the ports of that game since have like looked like what they're supposed to.
Yeah. It doesn't help. My thing with Resident Evil 4 and why I can't actually play it as well as I could on GameCube is because of the aspect ratio and how the camera controls because I was used to quick turning on the GameCube, which was 60-degree increments, and it's not that precise in anything 16:9.
Yeah.
Well,
You know
that-
what's weird? Is the fact that Symphonia was originally on GameCube
Yeah.
and is now only functionally playable on like Sony consoles.
Yeah.
And Abyss
Yeah.
was originally playable on PS2 and is now only playable on fucking DS. Hey,
Hi,
Diggers! Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's my only option for like playing Tales of the Abyss is the 3DS port.
It's the
Yeah.
only option for anyone.
And like the Abyss
legitimately.
port is fine. Like I
But
just
it's on a 3DS.
it's on yeah,
So-
it's on tiny handheld.
I really just I want a Switch port, if nothing else. Just like that
Yeah.
would still be in line with everything, and it deserves an HD upscale.
Yeah, it really, really does. Like
Legendia can fuck off forever. But this deserves something.
no, we have to get a Legendia port so we can resurrect Long Long Demon jokes at Odai.
It'll be in 69, so it's a very long time.
Actually, that depends how you render it. It might end up a wide demon instead.
Or just an average square demon.
It's a big demon. If you
Big
make it
demon.
wider as well as long, that's just a big demon.
Yeah. I think it mostly appears oriented vertically on screen, so it's probably going to be more a wide demon than a long demon.
I don't think
I found the
anything
guy.
issued in 16:9 has just stretched the screen out.
But with the way that Tails porting has gone to date, unfortunately.
It'll be cropped, so you just see like the middle of the demon.
Pin and
Midriff
stand
demon.
Ooh. I should probably go back and like finish another Tales game. So I've only done like Symphonia and Zestiria.
Well, Zestiria had its music played in the Olympics, so
Yes, it did, and Sakuraba didn't know about it until we saw it.
What? God.
it's
Like-
fine. There are songs in Tales of Zestiria that are literally just Dark Souls songs because Matoe Sakuraba. I like his work, but also sometimes he's lazy.
I feel like he is a composer that like seemed to work stronger within like limitations a bit.
Yes.
Oh, do I try to kill the Dark Elemental?
Like his works when he was doing like.
I love
MIDI
looking at it
scripts.
in HD.
on
Look at this
hardware.
thing. They
Yeah.
aren't just bubbles, they're eyeballs.
Everything
One
where
of my people.
anything where Sakuraba gets like a full orchestra, like
It's just gonna devolve into his Dark Souls soundtrack.
so insane.
If someone could please heal Varn, that'd be
I
great.
should be leading. The guy should be leading a jazz fusion band, not an orchestra.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, straight up, there's a song in Zestiria's soundtrack. I think it's when you enter Roland for the
Yeah.
first time, where there's like the giant field, like lots of farmland, and it's just playing this like really chill, like somber music while the sun shines down on this farmland, and it's just Firelink Shrine. Like,
Yeah.
actually.
But I feel like his big sweeping. The way he composes for like big sweeping orchestra stuff just sounds really flat to me.
Yeah, it's not his forte, but he keeps getting handed stuff that
Yeah.
is that.
I mean,
Fucking-
if you did the soundtrack for Dark Souls, then
Yeah, but like
Like
Dark
that-
Souls, I feel like at least has like something specific to it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a specific like somber vibe most of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That- I mean,
Also,
that's how typecasting works, though. Is my point.
And I think the thing with like the use of music in Dark Souls is very specific. Like,
Yeah, like there's like 2 or 3 locations that have location music, and then it's all boss music.
yeah,
Yeah.
Everywhere-
And all,
no music.
honestly, all the boss music in Dark Souls 1 is kind of pass. I don't like it. It's whatever. I'll play with my music off.
It's better than the stuff in 2 and 3, I think. But
Low bar.
I can't remember any of the Bloodborne music.
Yeah.
That's a different composer.
Yeah. and also a lot of audio, other nonsense going on in that. What with the baby crying if you get insight or story progress. So
The soundscape of Bloodborne is very good.
yeah, it's very good. Music, kind of forgettable. I remember more things from meme videos about Bloodborne than I will ever remember about Bloodborne's music. So.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, watching a man play through all of Dark Souls 2 without talking to anyone, hell of a self-imposed challenge.
People come up with cool challenges for those. Like, you know, I'm largely indifferent on actually playing the dang things, but when the people, when the culture on those games is not being flat out awful about things.
Yeah, when it's not like you have to play this way, or you're not really playing. It's more, look at how we can play this thing. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah,
that I can respect.
Yeah.
But yes, no talking includes no leveling up, no shopping, which means no life gems. And because you can't talk to the person to get the Estus, you never get Estus. You never repair, you never upgrade.
You can't level.
Basically, yeah. Because you have to talk to the Emerald Herald.
Bear Seek, whatever the fucking...
Seek list. That's the meme. But no talking allowed. Yeah, like, the way he eventually gets healing, like basic healing, is getting to the point where you can loot bonfire aesthetics to get infinite bonfire aesthetics to basically New Game Plus zones in the world specifically, which refreshes all their item drops.
Wow.
And then just refreshing a zone that has life gems in it.
God.
Which means he has to get far enough in the game that he can like do that bonfire aesthetic loop. Yeah. The Bloodborne challenge runs are very funny. The challenge runs are all the best way to enjoy Dark Souls.
Yeah,
I mean all Dark Souls.
So the thing with Dark Souls, the reason that Dark Souls gets so big is this idea of like all the rules are consistent, right?
Yeah.
So like you can just play with the rules.
Yes.
But then the option is just there to like take the
self-imposed.
You know, take the rules too seriously, basically. And say, well, okay, this is a machine. What happens if we fiddle with that bit?
It's a combination of a consistent rule set and a sheer amount of like variety potential.
Yeah, and also like a whole lot of built-up knowledge about how to break certain rules to adhere to other ones. Like, you're not allowed to go down this well in Dark Souls 2 without getting a ring so that you don't take lethal fall damage. Except if you fucking parry someone and then riposte them as you push them off the edge, you do the critical animation leaning into them as they fall down and you don't take fall damage.
Amazing.
Because, like, yeah, in order to beat Dark Souls 2, you need to go down the gutter. Pretty much, unless you do other stuff, but...
Yeah, the first few months of those games, not the best time to play them.
Yeah.
Because, like, everyone's wrong. I remember, like, playing Dark Souls 2 at the time, and, like, one of the common things was, like, oh, there's this one particular stat you don't want to put any points into.
Was it adaptability?
Was adaptability?
That stat, yeah, Becky, by the way, adaptability governs how many invincibility frames your roll has.
Jesus
among other things, including how fast you use items.
Yeah.
Incredible.
You better healing with more
That
adaptability.
is some video game design right there.
But
like you chug your potion faster with higher adaptability. It's just like, don't put any inflation out. What are you fucking talking about?
It's also just like, if you play that game in some ways exactly like how, like, some of the ways you play Dark Souls 1, it's unpleasant. It's not fun.
Yeah, which is...
This is why a lot of people turn on that game.
Yeah, because, like, there was... The whole thing with Dark Souls 1 was, like, there was a lot of 100% physical block shield, which meant you could basically just tank all damage to your stamina instead.
Oh boy,
But-
here's my first horse. It's a real Necrohole run now.
Miyazaki's entire career since like post Dark Souls 1 has been to like make sure no one uses shields.
Yeah. Because like in Dark Souls 2, like there are some 100% physical block shields, but
Yeah.
they're not any you can
Oh
start with.
no, the triple disable. Ah! Oh, this is gonna be bad. Please untarget me.
But yeah, like there's a shield in Bloodborne, and it's just making fun of shields making people passive.
Yeah, and then you get like Sekiro, which is just, well, you just got this one weapon and some other items, I guess.
Yeah, you have items, but not.
They're all secondary weapons.
Yeah.
I have immunity to disable. What's immunity to disable?
Yeah, it's still like kind of toxic sometimes because all the players are like, well, you need this level of dexterity to ride this ride, and that's
Also, don't play on PC.
yeah.
If you're gonna have anything online, especially do not play on PC. Especially do not play Dark Souls 3 on PC online
Yeah.
because of the how far the hacking has gotten on that game.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
To
They
an
cre-
extent
Yeah.
where someone can actually inject code onto your own machine through the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to.
It was bad enough like to start with because it was a system where like if someone had hacked the game and like invaded your world, which you might not even know because they can hack it. Like, they've been able to hack it so that they can invade your world without you knowing.
Hmm.
And if you get invaded by a hacked player, you get blacklisted essentially, and only be put in that blacklisted server with other people who've like been involved in hacking.
Right.
And that's
Yeah,
how
they did go like they did a sweep of offenders at one point and cleaned that up a bit. So it's only actual offenders that got put on that list after
Yeah.
a certain point. But like for a while, it was real sketchy.
it was,
I
it
did
was-
play a decent amount of Dark Souls 3 with a friend, and like
Yeah.
it's still like really obnoxious because I want to co-op with someone. I don't want to have to co-op and have to deal with like randos invading, but like
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like I don't mind invasions, but most recently I played like Dark Souls on the PS4, so it's like it's only console players, and
Yeah.
like it was it took quite a while to get like multiplayer stuff on some parts of that game. Like I was literally I was looking for help on certain bosses and only was waiting for like an hour in some cases.
Oof.
But also helping people in that game was really fun. Because it's just like, well, I get to fight the bosses I like again and again. But yeah, I need to give Dark Souls 2 its proper shot because I've only done it as dumb shield person before.
yeah.
And 3, I learned how to roll out of the way of things.
I'm very proud.
I feel like playing Bloodborne may be a better Dark Souls player.
Sites
Oh my god.
nearby H Bomber Guy video about that very topic.
I haven't seen that video. I don't often sit down for the lengthy YouTube videos.
Yeah. His whole thing is just like, well, Bloodborne forces you to, like, there's no turtling, so you have to adapt to the parry and dodge playstyle.
Yeah.
And when you go back to play Dark Souls...
Oh shit, this is
other-
the fucking mark. That's why it's kicking my ass. Whoops.
Oh, yeah. It's Death Sight, yeah. But yeah, like, because you aren't allowed to turtle, period, and makes you a more aggressive, more like agile player. And then when you take those skills back to other Dark Souls games, it helps. Which is why, like, a lot of people who skipped Bloodborne because they either didn't have a PS4 or, like, just didn't feel like it, like, had some issues going into Dark Souls 3, which wasn't, like, full Bloodborne, but did take a lot of the same, like, boss, like,
it's also,
pattern learning into it.
that game also, like, they took poise out.
Yeah. Well, they didn't take poise out, they changed how it works.
Yeah, but the way, so, like, the thing is, like, shields are only good for a few hits. So, like, if an enemy was hitting you, like, a bunch of times, like, if an enemy was doing a lot of hits, it wasn't worth taking it with a shield, because you'd have a shield break really quickly, even from small enemies.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't take a lot to get a shield break, so that's why you had to, like, figure out, like, how to do a proper dodge, because poise doesn't work in the same way it did in, like, previous games.
Yeah, the way that poise work in
In the INI file, which you could switch on to turn on original poise.
yeah, but the way Dark Souls 1, 2, and probably Bloodborne had it work poise was basically it was just like how much damage you would take while still no-selling movement in general, but in 3 it's literally specifically how much damage you can take in the middle of an attack animation without getting interrupted.
But but also, it's like, it's the same consistent number of hits.
Yeah.
Shields will cause a shield break.
Yeah, I think that, like, weapon class applies or figures into that. So, like, heavier weapons will do more. So it's not just, like, low number of hits or like, X number of hits, but, like, if you're fighting the same enemy repeatedly because you're dying on a boss, that's going to be what's happening.
Yeah.
Please drop your paling, sir, so that I can actually refill my MP. At the moment, I can't do anything.
But yeah, no, playing games in the Soulsborne series is like, if you feel like playing it before everything has been figured out, you're going to have a rough time trying to decipher both the game and the fandom trying to decipher the game along.
There we go. Finish him.
So while I respect Cozy's desire to play Elden Ring when it comes out, I will be hard passing for at least a couple years.
I will be playing it immediately.
I just have less interest. Also, good. Rosemi struggles to open a can of tomatoes for 30 minutes. A 13-minute video.
Oh my
You're
god.
fucking incredible.
I didn't find Dark Souls 3 as much of a struggle.
Have I managed to stop Death Slice? Oh no, it's acting again. There we go.
But I mean, 3 is a smaller game, and it is, well, the problem is I can't tell if it's easier or not, or I'm just better.
Yeah, that's also a problem. Like, the series has a difficulty curve, as well as the individual games having one.
Yeah.
And the difficulty curve across the entire series is dependent on learning mechanics from past stuff. So,
Yeah.
it's kind of it's a little complicated.
Okay. That got rid of that guy.
Nice.
Now to do something about my MP, because oh my fucking god.
I need to play more of the fake Souls-likes. Gonna wait for that. I don't know how good it's gonna be, but the Final Fantasy Origins, whatever the fuck it's called.
You're going to kill Chaos. Strangers from Paradise, yeah. I love Isekai.
We know, Lex. We know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a refill on coffee real quick, so be right back.
You do that.
Cool.
How's the weather been in your neck of the woods, Sam?
Oh, very warm.
Yes. Same.
Like mid-30s.
Oh, really? Mid-30s?
Earlier
got-
in the week it was it was like 34 for a few days.
Jesus. We hit 30 yesterday.
Yeah.
About the time I
Sun-
was heading out to get my second dose of the vax, which not
my second
ideal circumstances for something that's going to give you flu symptoms, but
it was really warm when I got my first dose. Like it was awful. I was in an awful state at that time. So it was really warm, and that's when my arm problem started,
oof.
which is not fully resolved, but it is still resolving. I can play video games now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
I
which
put-
vax did you get?
I got the Pfizer.
Cool. Same.
Um,
Can lift my arm above my shoulder again now.
my I'm not. My second jab is on the 11th of August.
Cool.
It was going to be the 1st of September, but I got a reschedule.
Nice.
They just texted me today saying I could reschedule, which is weird because I did that a few days ago. Text says my old vaccine date on it, even though I have the text from the same people saying your booking is cancelled and my new booking.
Well, it do be like that in the NHS sometimes.
Yeah,
Um,
I've got a booking. It's the good thing is as well is like if you do rebook, you have to cancel before you rebook,
mhm.
but they show you if there's appointments available before you cancel.
That is unusually effective by the standards of the NHS.
Yeah, and it shows you when they're available as well.
Jolly good. Where am I? This is
But yeah, in a few weeks' time, I'll be double vaxxed.
nice.
How was the second jab?
I've not had a problem with it. Like,
How did you take the first jab?
first jab was fine. There were a couple of moments where I was like, oh, that's one of them their flu symptoms that they talk about. A little bit of lightheadedness now and then.
Yeah.
But no, it was fine. And same yesterday. Like the
Okay.
arm, the arm was a lot more sore this time.
Wonderful.
But not, it still wasn't serious. There were just a couple of moments streaming yesterday. We had a particularly surreal Astroneer stream anyway. Like, I accidentally teleported our rover into the middle of a wall and stuff. At one point, I went to place a platform down and it ended up 30 feet in the air. There were a couple of points where, like, again, I had that kind of slightly head swimmy feeling. But other than that, it's just the stiff arm. And that's even weird, as I say, like, I got the vax and then I had to walk 2 miles in the blazing heat of the midday sun on what might well turn out to be Liverpool's hottest day of the year.
God.
About 5 degrees cooler here today than yesterday, and a lot
Yeah.
fresher.
Yeah, no, I've like the last few days I've had to keep my window closed because it's like I don't want to let the hot air in.
Yeah.
It's supposed to rain tonight.
Nice. We get rain middle of next week, I think.
Yeah, we're getting rain. Yeah, because that's the thing. The extreme heat weather warning was for down here.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, it's going to be raining all next week.
Nice.
And tomorrow, thunderstorms.
Yee, fun.
I'll be indoors. I've got shelves to build.
Oh, that's right. I might buy another bookcase soon. I haven't done bookcases in a while.
Yeah, no, I've been buying too many. Well, I've been buying too many Blu-rays. Been buying too many books. I thought, what if I get
overload?
Dragon again? And then like, that's a terrible decision, Sam.
I'm here for terrible decisions, apparently.
I got back into buying manga.
Oh,
Ah.
Godspeed.
I started buying JoJo.
Oh, Jesus
Godspeed.
Christ.
But I'm set on just only picking up part 4 at this point
That's a good part to pick up.
because like, well, it's my favorite one. I haven't read any past. I've only just been really started reading them.
Mhm.
I haven't seen that before. I read part 1 the other day, which that's the shortest part, even though it takes the longest period of time.
Yeah.
Efficiency in storytelling.
Yeah, it
That's
takes
a
place
word for it.
for like 7 years or something. Then
I
all
think
the
I-
rest set
I
over
think
like
I read. I think I read part of part 4 when it was airing, and I didn't want to wait for the show.
yeah.
Part 4 is really good.
Part 4 is so fucking good. I
I can
wish.
see why Persona ripped it off.
Yeah. But yeah, like. Just that season of anime is just a really good season of anime.
Yeah.
Like in itself, like separate from the manga. Like, it is incredibly well paced as an anime season. It looks great in places. It does some really clever stuff with the animation and the perspective and like. I want to say, to be honest, I feel like some of JoJo works better in animation.
Yeah. Like a lot of physicality with the fights.
A lot of physicality with fights, and especially if you're trying to deal with time stuff, it's a lot easier when you've got motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, like, the entirety of the hand. Like,
Yes.
everything's already jumping around in manga because that's how comics work.
Yeah.
Having a thing go, whoop, you're over here now, in real time, is a little more comprehensible.
Also, the sound production on JoJo is
So
incredible.
fucking good. Excellent.
The fucking
Also,
worst sound in the world when the world happens.
yeah,
Just that's so good.
viscerally unpleasant. To demonstrate you should not be fucking around with time. Also, I know King Crimson was mostly a meme because of the translation for the manga being like
Also, because it's really
sketchy
hard,
as hell.
it's also just a lot harder to convey as a comic.
Yeah.
Because you're getting like it's a time related thing because that's such hard to do. Like it's a hard thing to convey in still images.
Mhm.
I mean, the opposite problem happens a lot. I mean, the opposite problem happens in JoJo sometimes, where like there are even in part 4, there's a few fights that are like a bit too like overly like descriptive in a way that like suits manga.
Yeah.
But isn't
Yeah.
really like as conducive to and like I think about like Dragon Ball Z, how it has like an entire like 20 episode arc that's supposed to take place over 5 minutes. Which makes no sense in that show, but in the manga itself makes complete sense and just seems appropriate for how it's actually paced in the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also that Dragon Ball Z was an era where they basically were like, oh, this episode you're gonna have to base this on 2 pages of the comic this week
Yeah.
because we're gonna have to stretch everything because the manga's airing weekly at the same time and we're gonna continuously do episodes.
Yeah.
We're not gonna.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that Gintama segment where they try to explain why the Gintama manga and anime are so fucky like they are.
Yeah, like Dragon Ball Z doesn't have like much in the way of filler arcs is the thing.
They just stretch out all the existing arcs to fill
Yeah,
the
like it's
time.
not. It's more so like the lengthy filler arc thing is more of like the the early 2000s kind of like anime. That era was where they started
Bleach
doing
problems.
Bleach, Naruto. Naruto is I mean,
You can skip the entire second half of that first show.
yeah. I'm just remembering how when they like put out Naruto on DVD over here, they had to specifically label it as Naruto Unleashed to distinguish itself from like the censored kids version that was on TV. But, like original Naruto say Naruto Unleashed on them.
Wow.
Wow, does he turn into a werehog?
Sure. I think it's a fox. I don't know. I haven't watched much Naruto in years.
Yeah, my experience with Naruto was I watched up to like the Naruto versus Sasuke fight that was like the end of like actual content in like I don't know, 2010, and then came back, watched like the last 3 or 4 episodes that were actually relevant to Shippuden setup, and then was like, I'm gonna watch Naruto Shippuden, and then I didn't.
I feel like if I get into Naruto, it's probably just going to be reading the manga this time.
Yeah.
I feel like I've become one of those people that's just like that style of show is. I'd much rather read the manga.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
that's reasonable.
Just
I would be reading My Hero Academia right now if the anime wasn't so good for like fight physicality stuff.
Yeah, no, that's
and I
fair.
don't want to spoil all the stuff coming up. But that show fucking is about to pop off. I feel they just spent 12 episodes doing a single day of training fights.
Wow.
And
I know.
it was all really good. But
No, I'm not going to say any specifics, but I know some stuff about where the manga is at, and it sounds really exciting.
yeah,
Nice.
basically like the whole thing. I was kind of down on it because just like I want to see my boy Deku do some wild shit because I know his fucking body's going to fucking explode at the end of this fucking day of training or whatever. But like also, it was like 10 solid episodes of like all of the heroes in Class 1A getting to show off how their power developed while they've been like off screen while Deku's been dealing with shit, and also all the kids from 1B who is like 1A's rivals also getting to show off their stuff to show that they're not just like background characters. So it was all really good, but
Does that show have any tournament arcs? I feel like there hasn't been a tournament arc in so long.
yeah, there was a tournament arc in season 2. We're on season 5.
I've only seen season 1.
Yeah, season 2 was what was it? 2017? Yeah,
How
it's a
time
good tournament arc
flies.
too.
This is a teleport crystal. I don't need to check the map in order to use the teleport crystal.
Every shonen had a fucking tournament arc.
I mean, it's a good setup. It's just kind of overused because it's
Yeah.
a good setup.
It's no one's gonna be the fucking. I mean,
Oh, what game did we play that like promised us a
Breath of
tournament
Fire.
arc and then didn't do it?
Is it Breath of Fire 2?
Now, Breath of Fire 2 has a tournament. Like, it's short, but it's there. There was a game we played that was like, here's a tournament arc, except... And then...
was it Paper Mario 2?
No, the tournament arc in that is amazing. Thousand Year Door.
It's also
Are you
not really a
thinking
tournament arc.
Xenogears?
Probably.
But I think Xenogears isn't drawing from shonen tournament arcs. It's drawing from Vossums,
Quite possibly.
which has its own like arc about like small arc about battling.
Yeah.
It's the same name. It uses the same word.
Mm.
It's weird how because it's still subtitled as battling, but in Japanese they are saying battling in English kind of thing,
Huh.
and that's why it's
I forgot.
got that
This
sort of
guy?
name in
Not this guy.
It's like the problem of like the heartless, those without hearts.
Yeah.
It's when you
Yeah, honestly, I don't. I think the stuff we started covering in episode or like year 3 was all like enough of a. I don't know. I feel like all of year 3 was very not standard shonen stuff, so tournament arcs weren't really applicable. So probably first 2
Yeah.
years, Xenogears would fit.
Mm. Because tournament arcs are really good. I've been a convert to tournament arcs ever since, specifically, like, Thousand Year Door was, I think, the first tournament arc that I remember really clearly playing through and being like, oh, this is amazing.
I mean, like it's the originator, but Dragon Ball just has some really fucking good tournament arcs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the I think it's the last tournament arc of original Dragon Ball is like extremely good.
Yeah.
Right, that's right. I
Also,
can't...
it's just they're great as an excuse to just see characters that don't get a lot of like play.
Yeah.
I was watching the Dragon Quest anime, and they go to a tournament. They have only like 2 fights,
Boo.
Yeah, it's like a fake tournament that was set up for evil purposes. And I'm like, I'm disappointed. I wanted to see
Actually,
these.
like, Arc Knights did a tournament arc recently.
Oh,
Except they only did the
Tournament
first, like,
Arcanites?
thank you. Except they only did the, like, they did the qualifiers for the tournament, and it ends with the character you're following qualifying, and then it just stops. Like, she doesn't actually then go on to fight in the actual tournament that you've been working towards getting into. And, like, she's joined the tournament to, like, save her family's reputation and stuff. And the family's reputation is left unsaved because she doesn't fight in the actual majors.
I think about like there's like Dragon Ball Z only has like Dragon Ball Z has like one tournament arc, and and it just like it doesn't fully do the tournament, and that's like the interesting thing about it because of just the things that happen that make it stop.
Yeah.
And just the sheer escalation that happens. But that's kind of, I mean, that's like almost Boo Saga stuff, so it's kind of like the point at which like it is kind of starting to run its course. Even though there is some fun stuff in the Boo Saga, but
Let's go see about fighting a carrot. And by a carrot, I mean a giant fucking Marlboro.
Yeah, the tournament arcs in real life are all better than the anime now. Fucking Apex is driving me insane.
God.
Look forward to us streaming that at some point in the future.
It's going to be a fucking disaster.
Oh shit. I can't
If
get
I'm the highest skill person in the group, things are going to be bad.
You talking about Apex?
Yeah.
I want to get back into playing that at some point, but I never won a game when I played it. I was so bad.
Yeah, I've won one game.
I mean, I mean, technically I've won Battle Royale games, but they're all the ones with the most of like the really big teams.
Yeah.
Oh, in Final Fantasy 12, I just got to the side quest of the guy who's like draws the really bad picture for the hunting mark.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah, you
It's
will.
just, like, an incomprehensible picture, and then the fucking like the initiated like hunt thing comes up, but instead of a name, it's just a question mark because you just can't tell what it is.
Yep. Have fun with that fight, by the way.
It's in a locked away room, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's in a room out of the way, isn't it? Because it gives you a key to get in there.
No, it's... He gives you the place you need to get into. He's giving you the key to the path that actually gets you to Arcades.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It has been a while since I've played the game.
Oh, man.
Oh, good. Dead Space is being rebuilt by Motive, the developers for Star Wars Squadrons.
I can't mean to get around to that.
I can't actually see Carrot's health bar.
Too tall?
Yep. He's a long boy. I may not have any vaccines, which would be interesting.
But you just had your second one.
Sorry, serums.
Now I feel the compulsion to talk about Ill Bleed again. That's not good.
We had the Ilbleed lecture yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, why do I keep picking pieces off my chair and they just drop? I need to stop fidgeting with the chair.
Oh my god, did Ash get petrified? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Stoner first.
my currently watching on my anime list is 34 Anime Deep still.
Jesus Christ.
What?
34 anime on my currently watching list. Some of them are like stuff I've started and then like never finished. Some of them are Hunter x Hunter 2011, and some of them are airing.
Is this you're currently watching this?
Yeah.
I thought mine was big with 7.
Well, even just the ones that are airing, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Why are my gold needles at the bottom of my
I'm not
list?
watching anything. I'm only watching one show that's airing, and one of them is from last season. I just haven't got around to, which is Odd Taxi.
That is a show that I wanted to watch, but there was too much stuff airing last season. So
Yeah, it sounded like there was a lot last season.
Stop
I'm
breathing, you wretched plant.
There's nothing really this season I'm picking up, so.
yeah, there are too many isekai shows. Even as a joke, I'm watching some of them, or all of them. I
don't know. I have low experience with isekai. I think most of the isekai I've seen is like before people started using the word isekai.
yeah,
Yeah, Escaflownes and the like.
yep. Only realized that was even an isekai after someone was like, yeah,
Sonic,
I haven't seen the isekai, but yeah. Sonic X, also an isekai, yes.
I want to say on the Wikipedia article for isekai is the first one listed.
Isekai is a Japanese genre. Sonic X.
Disease is really scary. I don't like any of this.
Yep. Oh, I didn't realize Orphan was a partial isekai. Maybe I'll watch that.
Sorcerer's Stab at Orphan. That's an old show.
They remade it.
Oh yeah, they did.
It's currently airing.
Oh yeah. I just kept seeing that PS2 game in like shops a lot.
Yeah. Well, I guess it finished airing. They're still dubbing it. In Sorcerer's Stabber Orphan, an entire population of humans appeared in the magically created world, was transported from Earth and got partially mixed with the local dragon-like heavenly beings. Neat.
Incredible.
Isekai, yeah, this... I really love this second paragraph after it defines isekai. This plot device allows the audience to learn about the new world at the same pace as the protagonist. Yep.
Where's my
And then
magic
the
chart
second-
that tells me what I'm supposed to be doing here?
Is Final Fantasy X an isekai?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I mean, it isn't. It is, but technically it isn't, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like,
Like,
it
he's
is.
from the
It's like-
same world.
But,
Yeah, but he's
like-
from an unreal world within the world. It's a different world, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it works in the same way that an isekai does, like exactly the same way.
The man's literally made of dreams. So... Anyway, yeah, it's distressing to see all of their examples go... oh, I know every single one of these. Whoops.
That is what it is to be an expert on things.
I don't know anything about Inuyasha except like it was in like a bunch of anime magazines in like the mid 2000s that I imported from America. No, not that I imported, that I found in shops that were imported from America.
Please die!
But
Oh my god.
I don't know many people in the UK
There we go.
that really talked about Inuyasha much.
Yeah, Inuyasha memes caught me by surprise when I entered like games Twitter.
Mm.
It's like, why are people talking so much about Inuyasha?
because like that show had more play in America than it did
Mm.
here.
And also, it made a lot of people very interested in queer anime
Yeah,
as like a gateway drug.
because I mean that was a Toonami show in America, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But like it was just a difference in. I mean, by the mid 2000s, everyone's just fucking getting their anime off of like streaming and torrents. So like everyone's got the same wavelength.
Mm.
But like before then, like the difference in like anime fandoms and what anime was vast.
Yeah.
Like early like anime fandom in the UK is what all the manga entertainment stuff. Like,
Yeah, like,
Or-
so I had friends when I was in high school who were big into Dragon Ball, right?
yeah,
And I never connected that interest of theirs to the people I met, like, a year later in sixth form who were watching Evangelion and stuff.
yeah.
Um,
But I think like a lot of like I mean, especially in the early 90s, like a lot of anime releases were like stuff for adults.
yeah.
And like if it wasn't like made for adults, it would be made into a thing that was for adults.
Yeah.
Like that's where the term 15ing comes from, is because this won't get like a 15 rating, so we're gonna add a load of swears in there.
Yeah.
That's why that's why their dubs are just so ridiculous. Like the Devilman and like Cyber City Oedo dubs are like over the top. You wouldn't know a vampire if it bit you on the end of your fucking dick kind of lines.
That is a heck of a line.
Spoken by the actor who would eventually play Solaire in Dark Souls. Because all of those manga dubs were done in the UK by people pretending to be American.
Wow.
Incredible. Anyway, yeah, this page is concerningly like something I would write.
Oh man, when the games course that I am part of the leadership team of is really, really successful and we're hiring in experts from all around the world, I'm going to hire you as an expert in Japanese culture to inform our...
That is fucked up, and you know.
Hire Sam as an
Look at
expert in
this
the history of localization.
Look at this idiot. She knows all the isekai shows. Mock her. I'm paying her for it, so she's fine.
Oh,
Okay, so that's extreme. Oh, I knew it. Oh, I knew it. Okay. A popular isekai light novel anime series was The Familiar of Zero, where the male lead was from modern Japan and summoned to a fantasy world by the female lead, Louise. You might know them from, like, every tsundere primer ever. The Familiar of
Wait,
Zero
no, it doesn't
popularized-
say that in the Wikipedia article.
No, it doesn't.
That'd be amazing.
That would be my aside. The Familiar of Zero popularized the isekai genre in web novel and light novel media, along with the website Shosetsuka ni Naro, Let's Become Novelists, known as Naro for short. The Familiar of Zero fan fiction became popular during the late 2000s, eventually spawning a genre of isekai novels on the site, which became known as Naro novels. The Familiar of Zero fanfiction writers eventually began writing original isekai novels, such as Tape Nagatsuki, who went on to create ReZero, which is restarting life from zero in another world. 2012 anime adaptation of Sword Art Online popularized the isekai genre in anime, which led to more web novels being published and a number of novels being adapted into anime. And then that's around where isekai was coined as a term.
This really is just, like, to an unfortunate degree, the story of things you have talked about to me over the last 7 years. I went the wrong fucking way.
Oh my god. The genre eventually became so popular that in 2016, a Japanese short story contest organized by Bungaku Free Market and Shosetsuka ni Naro banned any isekai entries. The publisher Kadokawa banned isekai stories as well in their own anime manga styled novel contest in 2017. In May 2021, Kadokawa announced they would open an isekai museum in July of the same year. Oh yeah, baby! It's not the isekai!
You're gonna have to. The problem is you have to die to get there.
No, they're transitioning to another world. Don't fucking gaslight me about my genre expertise. Anyway, it's open from July 17th until the 26th. Holy shit.
God. What a wonderful
It's-
world.
Except it's all the Isekai Quartet series, so only like 2 of them that I care about. At least it's not Post Shield Hero. Ugh.
Okay. I'm now going the right direction. There we go.
Shouts loudly about fucking Isekai
Yep.
and
Not to thread neck or anything, but the little bit of that conversation that was about scale of anime backlogs. Sam, you have more stuff on your watching list than I do on my list of anime that I've promised people I will eventually watch.
Are you looking on my watching list?
No, like you said, you had 7 things.
Oh, that's on my currently watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
My want to watch list. How many things are on my want to watch list? 239.
Jesus.
And that was culled by more than half at one point because it's just like I'm not gonna get around to it.
I don't
Also-
have a plan to watch this because I don't make promises I won't keep.
I also like took like basically on the want to watch list I took all like the more famous shows off of there because it's like I'm not gonna forget about these things.
Ah.
I put there was a bunch of like Gundam on it. I'm not gonna forget about Gundam.
Not when the Great Gundam project is happening.
Yes. As I am watching along as well at this point. Normally I watch them all ahead of time, but now I'm just watching with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, my anime list profile has 488 completed animes.
Jesus.
That's a lot more than me. I use Anime Planet because I've had my Anime Planet account since 2009.
Yeah,
I've watched
I've had this
200
account for a while.
and 4,775 total episodes.
I'm okay. How long has this account been? This account has been around for a while. Anyway, I've definitely been archiving since at least 2014 because that's when I started watching stuff seasonally.
Yeah.
Actually, I started watching stuff seasonally in 2012. It became a problem in 2014. But yeah, that's just 7 or 8 years of me watching stuff seasonally and then also watching other stuff. I have 101.67 days of anime.
My
It's not counting rewatches either.
God.
I only have 81 days worth of anime.
It's still
That
pretty
also
fucking
includes-
hefty.
I know Anime Planet can log rewatches.
Yeah,
I don't know if my anime list can.
it does not.
Yeah,
Which
no,
is good for my sanity.
yeah. On Anime Planet, you can like label. You can only on anime, but not on manga.
Hmm.
Right, what do I need to do here to make this work?
I will probably need to do that with Yuri on Ice some point soon in the future because I'm rewatching that.
No, I can't be bothered solving this puzzle now. It's too much brain for this heat.
Also, I
Let's
use
go
my
and collect
anime,
some-
my anime list
Congratulations.
because the Android app, if you're watching a show, you can turn on a notification that goes, by the way, episode 3 is out, episode whatever is out, tell us your thoughts. And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you my thoughts, but thank you for the reminder that it's aired. Because
Have you
there
watched any
are
more of the
genu-
Scarlet Nexus anime?
I watched episode 2 for that one thing, but no, I didn't watch episode 3. Ugh. I should. It was very amusing how blatant episode 2's hint was.
Have mostly already forgotten that I've watched The World Ends With You anime.
Good.
It's not that great. Every fight is exactly the same in that anime.
Also, it's The World Ends With You.
I mean, I liked playing that game. I had a lot of fun with that.
Oh, right, I haven't done that one yet.
And the sequel's out in a few days.
I played that game at the wrong time for me.
Yeah, no, that's
And
fair.
also on handheld, which, as has previously
I
been
mean-
well discussed on this channel,
Yeah.
is not my preference.
I'm not gonna like I like the game, but I'm not gonna tell you to like make you like a game you don't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I admit like a lot of like the reasons I like a game are very surface level or like very I just liked playing the battles. I just liked the aesthetics a lot. I like the music a lot.
Okay, there was also a thing I got linked to yesterday that was like an interview with Nomura about The World Ends With You.
Yeah.
Neo? And it was just
Oh,
like,
is
if you
that
could
the-
add one item of clothing?
Oh,
Yeah.
is this the one where he says that like there was a character who's just like his outfit?
It's fucking Sho Minamimoto.
Is that the Sozetta Slow guy, the math one?
Yes.
Oh my god, I hated that boss fight so much!
Yeah, but the man's got an outfit and a half.
Fucking Nomura, of
I'll tell you
course.
what, right? I'll tell you what, right? At least in the anime, he only says Sozetta Slow like twice.
That's a mild improvement, yeah.
Also, like I didn't get all the same lines because they're all. I was watching the Japanese because there's no dub yet. I want to say,
Hmm.
but now because I'm now used to the Japanese voices, I might have to play the new game with Japanese voices.
That was the boss fight in the original where I really started to feel like I just couldn't play the game. And the voice lines did not help matters.
No.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
It's just like watching the anime is just like, wow, I completely forgot the entire plot of that game.
I don't think I ever knew it because I never played it, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
It's the thing, it's not a game I love, it's just a game I like.
A lot of people have a lot of love for it. I'm just like, okay, I do not have the patience or care for that.
Yeah.
So
It
good
was-
on you, but pass.
That was a game I played during a summer that I just had a nice time with,
Yeah.
and that was like sometimes a game can just be that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's fair enough.
I tried to play it while doing school stuff, and then the card, the pirate cart I was playing it on, fucking fried and lost my save data, so I gave
Oof.
up.
Yeah, no, I mean that was like a period where like, God, I was like trying to get a hold of like every single JRPG I could,
Mm.
because I was like, to be fair, it was.
Did you
like,
play
I
it
was
like around the time it came out or later?
I was quite like, so like the thing is like I like played and enjoyed a few JRPGs like as a kid and teenage. Like I played like Kingdom Hearts like 1 and 2,
Yeah.
like Golden Sun, and Pokemon, and that was mostly it really, and Mario and Luigi as well. But like it wasn't until I was like 18 where I actually just started properly playing like JRPGs because I got into Final Fantasy 13 and stuff. So like
Yeah.
that was then realizing, oh, there's loads of stuff on the PS2 and like DS and Game Boy Advance that I just missed out on. So I need to pick all this stuff up.
Mhm.
So there was a lot. I was basically just buying every PS2 JRPG I could get my hands on, and any DS JRPG I could get my hands on.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the luckiest time to do it as well because PS2 games were so cheap then.
Yeah.
I mean, I still had to pay like fucking 30 quid per game for like the Shadow Hearts series.
Mm.
Uh,
Well, even then they had a bit of a cachet.
Yeah.
for better or worse. Oh, there's the fucking mapper. I knew they'd moved it. I couldn't remember where.
Can't imagine what those games go for now.
Jeez, I don't want to think about it.
It's hard to really figure because like a lot of time it's like you'll look it up and it'll be a listed price, but like you need the trick is to look for sold listings.
Yeah.
Um,
Right, don't go
But-
up there because it's just full of back enemy and they will eat you. Let's go this way instead.
but no, yeah, that was just like I fucking picked up Valkyrie Profile 2 for like a $5, or like Persona 3 and 4 were like a $10 each.
Yeah.
Brand new as well, not second hand,
Yeah.
which was like crazy.
Mm. When did P4 come out? Was it 2009?
Yes, 2009 in the UK at least.
Mm.
And I bought that copy in 2011, so it wasn't that long after.
Yeah, that really was like the whoa. There's
It's
these
December
monster designs are
2008
so
for-
fucking good, and now in HD you can actually see the reflections of everything in them, and it's amazing, but also so scary.
Yeah, but I mean, for the sort of the specific purpose of the conversation is more to do with like the European release of Persona
Yeah.
4 2009.
Oh no, I made it mad!
Uh,
Run away!
Published by Square Enix.
Yep.
Funny old world.
Yeah, all the Atlas games just like went around like every publisher. Like I want to say Koei published 3.
Wouldn't surprise me.
on PS2. And like, I mean, Ghostlight was did the most publishing of those games.
I remember Ghostlight because they published fucking Agarest, which is a series that no one remembers or thinks about ever, except when it's weird games that nobody thinks about or remembers. In all lasting publishing locations, like they published it on Steam.
Yeah, they got really into like because like they don't really do the like European like publishing of like specific games anymore. They handle more like PC port stuff these days.
Hmm.
Yeah, which I think is better because
Yeah.
PC ports are not easy, especially for
Yeah.
like smaller dev teams or less
They do.
Square
They
Enix
have
funded.
the Way of Samurai PC ports as well.
Those games are weird.
They're interesting.
I've watched someone play through the first one, like all the possible endings, and it was interesting.
It's the thing is, it's one of those ones where like I feel like I want to go and like play like the first two, but like I missed the boat on being able to get those copies of those for a reasonable price.
Yeah.
And, like my PC cannot really handle PS2 emulation very well. I mean, PCSX2 is a messy thing itself anyway.
Mm.
Yeah, I
What
fully
did I
loaded
em-
and
Oh, I emulated Shadow Hearts. That's right. And there was some
Yeah.
weird fuckery with that emulation.
They're
Yeah.
changing to a different system of emulation for the next version of PCSX2,
Uh-huh.
which might be a bit less fucky, hopefully in the future, so they might make some progress.
Oh my god! I was fully ready to emulate Shadow the Hedgehog because I'm not playing at my Wii to. I don't even have a capture card. that
Wing
works anymore.
Dolphin is an emulator that works.
I know,
Like,
but like also I need to get my PS2 set up so I can play God Hand.
God, I need to get on God Hands. I have a PS2 copy of that.
I do too. Wink, wink. But also, like they put it on PSN for PS3 and then didn't transfer that to PS4. I don't think.
Yeah.
Which was really frustrating because like
Well, like it felt like they like did the PS2 on PS4 stuff for like 6 months and then just gave up.
Yeah. Well,
And then
wasn't
it
Rogue
became a lot
Galaxy one
more-
of the launch games for that?
yes,
Yeah.
That's how we played
then,
Rogue
like,
Galaxy.
Jack and Daxter.
Like,
Jack
Rogue
and
Galaxy
Daxter.
will drag anybody's mood down.
They have
Yeah.
the Dark Cloud and Dark Chronicle as well on there as well.
Yeah.
Wild Arms 3 was one of them.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Wild Arms 3 is too boring compared to Wild Arms 2.
Oh.
I have become a Wild Arms 2 stan,
It
unfortunately.
is hilarious. The saga of Wild Arms 2 is almost as good as the saga of Time and Eternity.
I
Just
should give Wild Arms 2 a go.
Yeah, there's some stuff you can go
everything
look
that
up to make
Leroy
that game
and-
work, but
and Lex have said about it. Who's healing the thing? Is it you again, Ash? Probably.
yeah, it's
This is why I don't like elemental weapons.
yeah.
I keep forgetting that these weapons are elemental.
Yeah, I had that same problem like yesterday where just like I kept. When
It catches you out a few times in this game.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Wild Arms 2 is like very. It has a lot of kind of like every character has a weird systems gimmick, which is fun, but also some of them are busted, and you wouldn't know that they're there unless you like read some guides beforehand. And then also the translation is fucking awful, in the best way. I'm
Do
full
I
of
have any
dangerous words that
hiatus?
should be censored.
Oh,
is a
yeah.
line.
That's where that's from.
God. Because the thing is, like, I still like know my JRPG experience outside of like Square Enix is still like fairly small by comparison.
Yeah. Punch drunk momentalism. That's just said. Prepare for word torture. Oh my god, Liz is such a good fucking.
Prepare for
character
word
for all this
torture,
nonsense.
or as it's otherwise known, Treasure of the Rudras.
Yeah. The entire line is prepare for word torture. I can't keep quiet. I'm full of dangerous phrases that should be censored.
Wonderful.
What a glorious thing.
It's also, I think Wild Arms 2 is probably the first, like the earliest piece of media I've seen where oparts is like a term used, which is weird.
Oh my god, how did the fucking Roblon heal so much? Like, I had it down to almost no health left. And I came back and it was about 60%.
You stop looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never turn your back on an enemy.
Here's the thing.
I'm mostly
There's
here
a-
to farm the skeletons anyway, but
Right. Speaking of farming skeletons, what's the deal with the place in the fucking Golmore jungle? like-
you mean the south side of the Golmore jungle where all the skeletons spawn?
Yeah, there's like a corridor where a bunch of skeletons spawn, and it seems like it'd be a good like grinding spot. Except you do it a couple times, and then you go in there, and the fucking like biggest plague of like skeletons that just instantly kill you comes in.
Yeah, it's just mean like that. You're
Yeah.
not supposed to go to that part of that area until after Arcades is the thing.
Ah,
Like, if you're there where you are in the game, you're there early. Because that's the part of the Golmore jungle that you go through, like, on the way to the Feywood, on the way to Giravegan.
yeah.
It is kind of not really for you.
Yeah, I suppose that makes
Ash
sense.
have none of the generator licenses, which is not attacking anything. She's just not attacking anything. Also, I did have to down rank her gear a bit. There we go.
Ooh.
Right,
Wild
that's
Arms
the
2
Nalbina
ends-
hunt stunt.
Wild Arms 2 ends with you fighting the Kuiper Belt.
What does the Kuiper Belt actually look like in game when you fight it? Is it actually just a cloud of asteroids, or is
No,
it
it
personified?
gets
somehow?
personified.
JRPGs, man, it's just the best shit on earth. We're so blessed to live in a time with these things.
Yeah.
God, I'm thinking about that one Scarlet Nexus boss again. The one
Oh
you
my
actually
god, I found a
fight.
screenshot of the Kuiper core. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh man, I love the boss title cards in this fucking game. I'm gonna post it in general.
I would
PCC.
like
Hold on.
to play Scarlet Nexus.
It's pretty cool.
It's a cool game. I don't know how much more time I'm going to devote to it than I already have, but like, just purely in terms of value of time spent looking at it, I would look at that game a lot.
Yeah, you're just on base PS4, aren't you?
Yep. Load times are a bit long, but nothing intolerable.
I can just check my phone. All the times are on or something. I'm like, I know like some people are like, I don't know, I don't mind load times. I'm not crazy about that sort of stuff.
It was a bit of a drag streaming it, especially for all the kind of social stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like if I hadn't been playing it on stream, meant that I didn't pay as much attention to the social stuff as I should have. So some of it was fine, and some of it I kind of missed details that I think probably would have made it stronger.
Yeah, I suppose. Like,
but-
did you play on PC?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the PC for?
Don't ask me if you're asking for performance stuff. I have a new beefy PC.
Well, I've got one to build, so.
Yeah, I have a 3070 and like an i10. So
Ah,
I spent $3,000 on this PC
yeah.
as a treat to myself for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, if you want to look in general on TCC, I posted the Kuiper Core's title card and also it.
Nice. I will do
It's
that
peak PS1.
after I finish streaming, but it does sound amazing.
That kind of PS1 aesthetics. For the true PS1 aesthetics, it needs a few more different fonts on there.
Yeah, it does.
Fun times.
The thing about that sort of thing is you can't make that work in high definition in the same way. I feel.
Not in the same
no.
way. I think it'd be interesting to see people try to iterate on it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean we're still in like a flat design, like minimalist kind of like
Nightmare.
yeah. Like to be honest, as someone who works with graphic design stuff for work, like I'm okay with the flat design kind of stuff because it means I don't have to do as much.
Yeah.
Like messing with templates, but I mean, to be honest, like some of the graphic design for this company is very 90s.
I've been on CD Japan a couple of times lately, buying HoloLive bullshit stuff, and it is a blast from the past what that website looks like.
God. Like one of the main like websites I buy anime from, Anime Online, they updated their website, which I'm annoyed at because like before like last year, their website looked like it was like from the early 2000s. And when I first saw it, I was like, "Is this really like a genuine website?" But it was like official like distributors like were tweeting like that website, so I was just like, "Yeah, sure."
Probably my favorite part about Wild Arms 2 is there's 2 party members that are just named Brad and Tim.
Oh, Tim.
Tim, the tiny lad.
Is he an enchanter?
He might be. I forget what his.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Is Tim the enchanter?
Yeah. I'm going to look up. Okay.
There are probably some who
Rhymeless.
call him that.
Tim is a young orphan boy in the town of Mary. Despite his youth and innocence, Tim retains a powerful ability to speak to and command the guardians through his summoning skills. He's a
just
summoner.
Fucking fight that. Oh no, I thought this guy's mark.
Yeah, his magic is really good. his magic works kind of like, I think one of the things that was like annoying is that you have to get kills with him to unlock magic.
Okay.
And then, but yeah, he's a priest.
Ah.
But yeah, then he gets like heal all stuff and turn undead and things
Okay.
and rock bolt. I remember really liking the combat in that game.
I should look for it. Good. Well, I mean, I'm still committed to Final Fantasy for the next few years at this rate.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many video games.
I mean, it's gonna get fast to get through some of them.
Yeah. I will say, probably.
Unless you try to
Don't-
arrange multiplayer for the Crystal Chronicles once,
No.
then you'd be here the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Well, because for Crystal Chronicles, we're playing like the current port because it's not as if I can get people for the GameCube one.
Yep.
Mhm.
I don't have the Game Boys for that.
Yep.
So apparently, I think Dolphin are like working to get that sort of Game Boy connectivity working soon.
Of course they are.
But Dolphin
that just.
computer very well.
I was just.
But
Every time I think about the Game Boy stuff, I'm reminded of the Four Swords Adventures Let's Play, where people hooked up 4 GameCubes with Game Boy players to a Wii,
Yeah.
so they could play Four Swords Adventures and capture all 5 screens.
Jesus Christ.
So the problem with like the Crystal Chronicles of the HD port multiplayer
Mhm.
is
Yep.
it's region locked,
Woof.
and the progress only happens for the host.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, we talked about this at some point, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been playing that alone because I've got it on the GameCube, but I think having the HD one just seems more convenient anyway.
Hmm.
And I want to say it like speeds a few things up a bit. But like the other two, like Ring of Fates and Echoes of Time, the Wi-Fi connection is down for them, so nope. And My Life as a King and My Life as a Dark Lord, you can't even buy those anymore. Those games are like literally the only way to get those is piracy.
Yep.
Because those were WiiWare games.
God, this whole ecosystem is so fucked up. Oh my god. What the screaming hell?
Are you getting fucked up?
It was the wrong trap to be cavalier about that one.
Yeah, Fusillade fucked you up.
They will. Let's buff up again. I have faith in bravery now. But not really the spare MP capacity to keep them up. Unless and until I stop using Protect and Shell. And I am not paying enough attention to the game at the moment to stop using Protect and Shell.
Yeah. I don't remember much out of Wild Arms 1. For Wild Arms 2, I also don't remember much out of, but I remember enjoying it.
Although I remember, I think we were talking about like Wild Arms 1, and I just thought like the game sort of like makes me think it's like a Camelot game, but it's not.
Yeah.
It has that vibe.
Yeah. They would have been busy making a training course or Mario Golf.
Famous JRPGs.
Mario Golf Advanced Tour is Golf and Sun, so
Yes, Golf and Sun.
I want to.
There's the fucking hunt.
It's in the same engine as well.
Yeah, like it literally has Steam Sprite format and everything.
Yeah. And also there's the golf as well.
I like golf teams, and I like that particular one. I played it a couple times. I honestly like how, like, in the story mode for Advanced Tour, you're just some fucking kid getting taught how to play golf, and if you play golf well enough, you get to play with Mario and friends in the
Yeah.
Mushroom Kingdom in the sky. So all of the course hazards become falling off of clouds and shit.
Nice.
It was very weird.
Why am I getting so owned?
What are you fighting?
I'm fighting this Mark, which is in fairness
Goliath.
casting Gravigar on me.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if it does anything funky.
It's mostly the gravity spells.
But it's probably not helping.
Ooh.
Gravity shouldn't be able to kill people. What is this, physics?
I think it's genuinely one of the funniest, like, question mark simulation aspects when, if you miss the sandworm in Final Fantasy V, you fall in a hole so it casts gravity at you. The exposed technique works well on it, apparently.
That would require me to have the exposed technique, which I do not.
Yeah, you should. The strategy is like, the moment it appears, one should cast a spell on it.
Did that.
Yeah.
I'm probably lacking, like, shell, for one thing.
Reflect would work.
Yeah, but then I'd be reflecting all my heals onto it as well. Get over here.
Yeah.
The thing is, it doesn't move around, so it can be ranged pretty easily.
Yep, that's the other advice. Just like reflect and bop it from a distance.
Or rather, it can move, but only when it's being wonky. I still
When it's
haven't
trying to
figured out
circle
that.
strafe you.
Hey, Katsuroi! Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, when it
Hello.
goes into a physical. Oh,
Spam.
yeah. It goes into a physical frenzy and stops casting things.
Oh.
Come on, fall over. Stop disabling me! There's a solution to this. Black belt. Where's the black belt? It's equipped to Pinello from earlier.
Can't believe Ash was such an enabler.
Shush. No, wrong spell. There we go. Spell? That wasn't a spell, that was items. It was the wrong menu.
Oh, right. Left 4 Dead Not 3 is coming out soon.
Oh yeah,
Back 4 Blood.
I'd probably play that.
I want to see how the actual game feel is, because I went back to play Left 4 Dead 2 and it felt a little wonky, but yeah.
It's going to be
Oh
on
god, okay.
Max, so I'll probably be playing it through that.
Right, I think I'm finally done with the Naldina hunt set. Might be a good place to stop, actually.
Yeah, it's been a couple hours.
Not been a bad stream. We did 6 hunts. A full pass through the Necrohol.
Over 2 hours streaming.
Sorry?
Did over 2 hours of streaming.
Yeah. It's usually about what I aim to go for on days where I'm just on my own. Unless I'm doing something specific, like trying to beat Scarlet Nexus quickly, which, nice try.
Big air quotes on quickly.
I mean, I was, in fairness, not really appreciating the extent to which it would be an RPG when I made that plan.
To be fair, I don't think the developers were either.
Which game is this, sorry?
Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah. Okay. One more horse, why not? I should see how much loot I've picked up this stream, actually. So I've done a pretty significant amount of fighting. Oh boy.
I don't know. I want to get back to finishing Scarlet Nexus, but also replaying that when the plot is going to be mostly the same, and I saw a lot of the stuff on your side anyway.
Yeah.
Mm.
I already have all your merchandise. Let's sell loot.
Also, Kasane's combos don't feel as good as Yuito's, and it won't for a while because I need like several dozen skills.
Yeah. What's that noise in the background somewhere?
That's a plane.
Ah.
Or is it a helicopter? One of the two.
Something noisy and airborne.
So my window's open because I need the air.
That's fair enough.
I
I was just curious what the noise was. I'm not criticizing.
Oh no, I'm just continuing the conversation.
Um,
Actually, starting to feel a bit chilly here. We'll turn the fan down. Cool.
I'm
My fan's
just
been on-
skimming the
my
fan's-
skimming the.
earphones are too hot for me to draw any such benefit, unfortunately.
Hmm.
That fan has been on continuously for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm skimming the Scarlet Nexus achievements, and some of the phrasing on this is very passive. The Suo incident occurred. Okay.
There we go. That was 80,000 gil.
The thing I've found in this game is you seem to get a lot of gil. It's just the problem is you have to spend a lot of it.
Yep. You can go to the straight up best grind spot in the game now. So.
Yeah. Which is that place?
It's in the Henna Mines, the second switch room that
Okay.
spawns 16
Slimes.
16 slimes. They are weak to fire.
Okay.
So you can just set your dudes to cast fire, chain cast fire in there. And basically, yeah, you I need to speak to Jovi. Come here.
I don't think I need to worry too much about grinding at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not worried about too much for gear right now.
The one thing I will say is, before you go into Draclaw Labs,
Yeah.
make sure you've got a backup save outside them.
I always do that.
because that's a place where you can get trapped.
The game usually tells you if you can get trapped somewhere, right? Or is
Yeah,
that just,
it usually does, but like that's one of 2 places where I know of people specifically running into that problem.
Okay. I mean, I currently my set of characters around level 40.
Probably okay. You'll be having to pay attention. I went in there at like 45-ish, I think, and didn't have
Okay.
to pay any attention.
And I've got mostly like a lot of the license boards filled,
Yeah.
not full, but like
Yeah.
fair amount of like, spaces covered.
You'll get a fairly big gear upgrade and spell upgrade and stuff in Arcades once you get there.
I just need to hope I get the money.
Yeah, well, the nice thing is that the dungeon that you're about to do, that's the way into Arcades, pretty lucrative. So if you just bum around there for a bit, you'll end up with plenty of loot.
I tend to just go in every room I can usually.
Yeah. But yeah, that farming spot is really good for XP and license points and loot.
Yeah, 'cause I usually would do a couple runs of the mines in Bujerba for a bit,
you can also go there.
but like that seems to run out very quickly.
Yeah.
And,
the
like-
nice thing about that slime room is that it's very easy to reset.
Yeah.
Because like you can always go 2 zone lines from it either side of the switch, and back again. You do have to run past a couple of Tyrannosaurus off one side, but it's fine. Anyway, that'll do for today for me, I think.
Alright.
Thank you for the company.
Alrighty.
Thank you everyone for watching. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. BST. What is it? 2 p.m.
EST, EDT, and
EDT.
11 a.m. GDT.
PDT. We're doing Armello with Proxy and me and Lex and one CPU that's probably going to kick our asses and doom us to an Apex stream. But yeah, that's going to be a fun time. I hope to see you all there.
Alright.
Good night.